Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Sean Gribbins, and I live in beautiful, sunny Denver, Colorado. I'm sure, as you can kind of tell, it's a beautiful, sunny day. Just hanging out in my car here, waiting for one of my investors to show up so we can kind of go over the progress that we've been putting in on this newest property. We've just finished kind of the preliminary beginning details, I guess you could say, and now we're moving into the phase of actually beginning the project. So today's my first day on site with the contractor, and he's going to actually begin demoing the project today. So this is kind of a smaller one than I usually handle, but it's basically a little duplex out in a suburb of Denver called Wheat Ridge. But anyways, I'm here to talk to you guys about how you may want to get into the flipping business or in the real estate business. And just like any other business, I guess you could say it's just a vehicle. So this is my vehicle that I'm using to get to where I want to be in life. But I was kind of introduced to real estate when I was young, about 16 years old. I met this guy who was my managing broker. I'm also a licensed real estate agent. That's how I originally got into the business. So got into the business, got licensed. I was licensed by the time I was 19. I started working for the real estate firm that I work for now, that I'm licensed under now, when I was 16. So began working for them, doing like marketing stuff, a lot of kind of the back end stuff of the business that a lot of people don't notice about, like for instance doing marketing videos and stuff like I'm doing right now. But at the end of the day, I've kind of come to really like and love everything about real estate. It's very interesting. It's like pretty much a game in my head, but I love it. So I was introduced at young age, 16, got licensed at 19, and ever since, I'm 22 now, I've just been kind of figuring out what I really want to do in this business, and now I've figured it out. So I've been flipping houses. I'm on, I don't know, I think this is my 6th property that we're doing. So I'm fairly new to the business still, but I know a lot about the business now, being here and doing this for the past year and a half in terms of the flipping business. So let me walk you back a little bit, guys. After I got licensed when I was 19, I began kind of figuring out, how am I going to find clients? How am I going to sell more houses? How am I going to buy houses for my clients? And it was super difficult being young, trying to find people who are, at the age where they want to buy houses. They've got the money to buy houses. So finding those people is not easy. It's really hard, in fact. And I do know a lot of people, but just, the Denver market's crazy. Everybody knows a real estate agent, right? Everybody's got an aunt or an uncle who's a real estate agent who they'd rather work with because they'll get a deal, or, Aunt Becky's always been there at Christmas or whatever. So basically what I did was I kind of jumped into working for investors. I was scrolling around and kind of found one investor that they were a couple, and they just kind of were looking for houses. So I kind of picked them up and started doing some buying sides for them, and eventually I took on this listing of this half-built house. It was actually like one of the coolest listings a lot of people have ever seen. It was amazing. There's videos on my channel if you guys want to check it out. But anyways, ended up listing the house for the guy. He was a crazy guy. I'm not going to go into depth about him. But anyways, listed the house and kind of found out my passion of real estate. Hold up, text me. Kind of found out my passion of investment real estate. I love the building aspect. I love dealing with investors. It's business. People are shrewd, but I kind of like that about the business. So I got into it, and eventually, which I'll tell you guys here in a little bit, I found some investors, and I've been just doing deals as much as I possibly can right now. I usually do the buy side. I do the project management, so I do everything from finding contractors, finding the money, to writing the scope of work. I don't really do any of the design because that's not really my expertise. So hire a designer, or we have a woman that does a lot of the design. So basically that's what I do, is I find the projects, I find the deals, put the financing together, and execute it. So my very first flip was 21 that I partnered up on with these investors, who I still work with. And if you guys want to get into this business, I'll tell you exactly how to get into the business. One, you have to show value of yourself. If you want to have someone give you money, or you want to flip a house, then you need to find the people who have the money and the people who will do that. But you have to show value first. No one's just going to be like, oh, you want to flip a house, it's your first time, okay, here's, $600,000, go flip the house. It doesn't work like that. So being a real estate agent, I was kind of lucky enough where I could see how projects were supposed to be happening. My managing broker, the guy who owns my real estate firm, was doing a bunch of buy and holds, where he would go in and renovate the property first. And so I kind of watched the way his projects would go from start to finish. And I wasn't there all the time, but I saw a lot of it. And, I've done a lot of research on my own in terms of how stuff should be put together. So after doing that, I talked with these people. I said, hey, if I bring you guys a deal and I cut my commission on the buy and the sell, would you guys be willing to share profits with me on this deal and go in on it? And you guys do all the money and I'll run the whole thing. We'll work together and you can kind of show me how you flip houses, because they were experienced. So that's what happened. They said, sure, bring us a deal. So I split my first deal with them. It was just a little, it was like a 70s ranch, 60s ranch in Lakewood, just another suburb of Denver out to the west, kind of borders the foothills. But anyways, got that deal done. That took a while. We had a really bad contractor at the beginning who basically demoed the place and left, but had to end up firing him, and then we tried subbing it out, and that was a major nightmare. And so it's just kind of funny how things go. But my first project was really good, and that's how I got into the business, is by meeting an investor and working with them, and just learning the ropes, getting in the business, grinding, looking at deals. I probably look at 100 deals a week, not even kidding you guys. Literally, from wholesalers, I get emails, I get the MLS I'm checking, even though the MLS is super difficult. We do pull a lot of deals off the MLS. I'm checking all kinds of stuff, running deals, running the numbers. It's gruesome. It's a grind for sure, and finding them is a grind for sure. And when you do find them, usually there's 3, 4, 5, sometimes there's 15, 20 offers that are exactly similar than your offer, cash, quick close. So you got to be really creative, without cutting your margins, in a sense. And sometimes you have to, but that's the way it is. So if you guys like more videos like this one, I'd be willing to go way more in depth and talk about how you can buy a flip at 21, 22 years old. There's all kinds of different methods. If you don't have money, you can do no money down scenarios and work with sellers. I'll go into that if you guys want. But really, this is my first video, seeing if it catches a lot of likes, a lot of hits. If it does, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, please. I'll give you guys more awesome content like this. So, cool. Thanks for listening, guys.